welcome to the Soulfulness of Life Podcast. I am your host, Soul Coach Jazara. Tonight, I have with me a very special guest. He is my second guest for this podcast. He is a mindfulness advocate, an educator, and also a retreat facilitator. I'm very happy to introduce to you my guest this evening. His name is Mr. Mon Rivera. Hello, Mon. Thank you for guesting. Thank you very much for making time. I actually learned about found out about Mon because I attended a meditation retreat last December. It lasted for 10 days, so it was from December 26th to after January. So I spent my new year in the Sierra Madre Mountains, a very nice place to meditate. And it was my first time actually to experience immersive and dedicated meditation for 10 days. That is 6 hours of 1 hour 1 hour per session for 6 hours a day for 10 days, so about 60 hours of meditating and just focus on the breath. To be honest, halfway through, I said I wanted to go home. I felt like I don't know, like I guess parang all these things come to your mind, all your triggers, mga ganyan, no? I think it said in the introduction for that meditation retreat that on the seventh or eighth or ninth day you'd achieve bliss, and I was a little bit parang sabi ko halfway na wala pang nararamdaman. Walang progress, but yeah, anyway, at the end of it, uh, there was um there was a breakthrough. So that's how I got to know about Mon, and of course Robin, his other co-facilitator there for the retreat. So welcome, Mon. Please share also a little bit more about yourself. I know there's so many things you're also involved with. So yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. So good evening, Juzara, and good evening, viewers. Um, yeah, I'm Mon Rivera. I'm just a simple person, actually. Aside from being a mindfulness advocate, I would say I'm also a Buddhist advocate, meaning I'm trying to promote Buddhism, not as a religion that is exclusive, that you have to become a Buddhist before you learn meditation from us and stuff like that, but to show the public that Buddhism is actually a kind of mental health program. It has
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do about your belief in some god or a set of doctrines. It's more about how to become a better person by becoming
Mm-hmm.
kinder and wiser. So I also teach in Golden Link College, where we have meditation classes also for the school children, grade school up to college. They learn mindfulness meditation. We teach it in a very non-sectarian way. So I'm happy to be here because I know this program invites all sorts of people from different spiritual paths. So
Yes, I guess yeah, it's very important to emphasize that any religion is welcome. Actually, we don't really look at religion; it's more spirituality. And the aim of this vodcast video podcast is really to inspire and to share any practices that may help us to be more soulful, to live more soulfulness of life, which is really living with more intentionality, purpose, joy, and peace in our lives. So thank you for guesting, because I know that this is also your mission. Siguro, Mon, if you can share with us, I know that we have a common friend, my college friend Alan. Shout out. And he mentioned to me that at some point, no, of course, you are a father, you are a husband, you are a family man. But at some point, you, I think, also wanted to be a monk. Yeah, maybe you can share with us about that, and then I think this trying to find your purpose, your life purpose, your soul path. Maybe you can share a little bit about that and how it led you, of course, to what you're doing now.
okay. Well, probably before jumping straight into that, a little more of background. No? Well, actually, decades before that, when I was still in high school, uh, I wanted to be a Catholic priest.
Mm,
I was actually born and raised as a Catholic. There was always that longing uh, to do
mm,
something more spiritual. There was a time I drifted through different uh, spiritual traditions, and I even explored Hinduism. I took a look at Islam. Pinag-aralan ko lahat, but they were all on the academic level. No? And then I had an unfortunate accident which
mm,
had me bedridden, and I had to quit my job for more than a month. No? Uh, naputol yung Achilles tendon ko. So I
mm,
couldn't walk properly. No? So while I was recovering, somebody told me, I just came from this meditation retreat, ang ganda-ganda, why don't you try it? So sabi ko, bakit hindi? Instead of just sitting, uh, thinking of what to do, I'll just join the meditation retreat. So I went there. It was a Vipassana meditation retreat. And I went there on crutches. Naka-crutch ako. Sumakay ako ng bus, naka-crutch, with my bag for 10 days, until 12 days. And the way Vipassana meditation was presented, it was not as a sectarian practice, but something open to all. In fact, ang nagdala ng Vipassana dito sa Philippines was a Catholic nun. No?
mm.
And she said,
Yes.
this was good for me. I'd like other Filipinos to experience it. No? So, ganon. And she's not the first Catholic nun to have established mindfulness training here. Dun sa Zen, Zen Philippines, ang nagdala rin ng Zen dito sa Philippines was a Canadian
Mhm.
Catholic nun. At ang nagko-continue dyan ngayon is also Catholic nun. I wanted to go deeper when I did Vipassana. It was really a mind-blowing experience. Ang daming mga
Mm,
bagay na tinatanong ko tungkol sa ibang religion and even tungkol sa Buddhism, nasagot during my first course. And my experience in meditation was such that hindi ko na pwedeng balikan yung theoretical uh, practices ko. So, what would be a better way to deepen my practice than to try to become a monk? Nag-disrobe din ako eventually. Pero yun, I learned a lot. I'm very grateful. My teacher already passed away, unfortunately. But basically, if you practice meditation seriously
mm.
and in an austere place, para ka na rin actually nag-monk. So, wala akong ganun ka-compelling reason to go back. No? Pero yung meditation, very important. Yun ang hindi ko pwedeng bitawan. Di ba
Yes.
rin hindi na mag-monk, pero hindi pwedeng hindi maging meditator. Okay?
Mhm. Can you share with us kasi nga sabi mo parang, it really changed your life yung, when you deepened your practice in meditation. Can you share with us, I guess, what is it that you found there and why, of course, this has been your life mission ano, to be able to teach it, of course, to others, and then help them also discover that.
It's cultivating the mind. It's disciplining the mind. Okay? Many times yung behavior kasi natin, uh, parang spontaneous. Hindi natin alam kung saan nanggagaling. Pero actually, ang pinapanggalingan yan are yung conditioned responses. Parang program. So, ang ginagawa ng meditation is um, tinitinan, ina-analyze ulit yung program. You see where the bug is. And then, you can also reboot it. Okay? And how is the rebooting done? Uh, Many of the lessons I learned in meditation actually were similes given by the Buddha himself. So one simile the Buddha gave us this. Okay, may mental tightness, and the tightness is the one that is causing all this anger, all this ill will, all this fear. So sabi niya parang kung meron nangyayaring traumatic experience, for example, it's like we are tightening a rope. Tighten natin, and then it becomes so very tight. There's so much tension. So how do you get rid of the tension? You actually don't need to do anything but to let go. And the rope itself will unravel. And that is what meditation basically is. So some people go to meditation thinking that they have to do this, they have to attain that. Uh, it may seem to be like that, but actually, deep meditation is learning how to let go. It's not about mind control. Because when you talk about
Mm.
mind control, you're trying to control the mind. A problema ulit. Okay? So, uh, the Buddha Dharma, the Dharma is translated as the law of nature. Okay? The teaching of the Buddha is about the Dharma. So we just let nature run its course. Instead of trying to control nature, we just let go. The effort
Mm.
there is actually in the willing and the letting go, not about attaining this high level of consciousness or meeting this
Mm.
goal. It's really about letting go and learning to
Mm.
trust nature, that nature has
Mm.
its own wisdom. So, uh, 10 days of doing nothing, basically, except, trying to let go. And what happens is probably what you've experienced during sa 10 days, ang daming lumalabas. When you let go, all these repressed memories come up. And the reason why people cannot solve their problems is because in the first place they do not allow these problems to surface. So how can you deal with it? You cannot see it. You're keeping it hidden. You're repressing it. But when it let go, you let go. All these things come up, and this is where the problem comes in. Some people don't like to feel the pain. Parang surgery yan. Eh. Minsan, para matanggal isang bagay, kailangan mo maramdaman yung kirot. It comes with it. Eh. There's no way na ano. So,
Mm.
kailangan talagang pasingawin. Pero pag
Mm.
na sumingaw na yan, that's it. The pain is gone.
Mm.
But you first have
Mm.
to go through the pain. So
Yes.
basically, that's what meditation is.
So, nakaka-relate ako because, yeah, yung the 10-day retreat nga, sabi, it's really for mental health kasi, I guess it's sabi nga mental training, no? Mental training to not repeat and repeat in your head yung programming mo, 'di ba? Yung conditioned responses mo sa mga bagay-bagay because here you're just sitting still. So you really have to be mindful. And of course nakalagay nga na after mga 7 on the 7th day, 8th day, you will achieve bliss. So in my experience, because of course I am Catholic, no, and I of course do prayer and also do spend a lot of time in the adoration chapel, just sitting, trying to sit still, although it's I came from a very fast paced lifestyle, corporate, and laging nako deadlines, so much amount of work and my mind is always 3 4 steps ahead, so it's a challenge, but ito when I attended the meditation retreat, I was compelled to really just, and I have no tools. There's no guided meditation. It's just focusing on the breath, 'di ba? So yung una, I get physically distracted, may langaw, umuulan. So yeah, kasi we're in the middle of the mountain. So there were thunderstorms, ganyan. And then after that, syempre yung mga, yun nga, it's either, yung mga past stuff that you are grappling with or planning for the future, yun nga, di ba? Never in the moment. So never in the moment. But then, and then, and then at some point, I was crying. Sabi ko, ano to, may mga lumalabas, ganyan. And then biglang yung pati yung mga kasama ko, syempre naka-circle kami, baka naapektuhan namin isa't isa. So may mga umiiyak na din, ganyan. And then I guess I talked to the retreat facilitator who's Robin, diba? Naku, by the 7th, 8th day, dapat ma-achieve ko na yung bliss, parang ganyan. And I was kind of getting disappointed with myself because on the 5th day, wala pang nangyayari nga. I was telling Robin, babaunin ko na lang yung assignment ng to achieve bliss. Sabi niya, no, you you're in the perfect place to do that here. Kasi this is really the place, 'di ba? And we're here to support each other. And he told the group, no, don't underestimate the value of releasing. It is what you're talking about, no, letting go. Kasi underneath all of that gunk, gunk, 'di ba? Yung mga naka-block diyan na mga ano-ano mo, the bliss will bubble up. And I guess that was a purging for us, a purging. And after all the paglalabas, photo finish, either the ninth day or the 10th day, that was when I started receiving. Ano na, yon, receiving. And the gift that I was given was really gratitude. O, yung parang thankfulness for everything that happened.
It's basically a process of purification. Okay? So some people can think of it as purification. Some people will think of it as emptying. These are just words. What is more important is the uh, actual experience of
Mm,
that emptying or that purifying. Ang
mm,
mahalaga dyan is may feeling ka ng stillness sa loob. You feel so
mm,
calm na hindi mo na kailangan magsinungaling, hindi ka na kailangan maging defensive. Yun ang nagagawa na calmness or stillness.
mm. Yes, nawawala yung mga compulsions to do certain things. With the stillness comes contentment, 'di ba? Not having to to fill in that void with other things that you would need to fill that void with.
May nabanggit kayo na gratitude? Yes. So meditation itself also has to be supported by other practices. No? One is gratitude, very important. Another one is forgiveness. Kasi meditate ka ng meditate, pero paglabas mo, galit ka pa rin sa tao. Ano yun? You can become
Mm,
more clear, have a clearer mind. You can even develop psychic powers. But if you have no forgiveness in your heart, the psychic power is going to destroy a person because that person
mm,
using the psychic powers for something bad.
mm,
So, mas mabuti na lang na ayusin mo muna yung buhay mo before you do meditation. In fact, sa traditional Buddhist countries, uh, ang step-by-step there is, bago ka mag-meditate, ayusin mo muna yung morality mo. Okay? In
mm,
the West kasi, you can just enroll in a meditation, mindfulness
mm,
center. No? Pero that's not the Buddhist way. You have to go there with
mm.
the proper state of mind, which is
Yeah.
you're going there to be kinder and wiser, not to be a
Mm,
more efficient worker or to be a more efficient boss, you know, or
mm.
a more efficient athlete. It's becoming wiser and kinder.
Okay, I know that you are a mindfulness advocate, and one of your, I guess, life's mission is to bring mindfulness here in the Philippines, a mindfulness practice, be able to share it, and let others know about the benefit because you yourself have experienced it in your life. But for people who are not yet very clear about what mindfulness is or don't understand it, maybe you can help to describe it in layman's terms. Oh.
Mindfulness, the way we approach it dun sa courses namin, is looking inwards and understanding yourself. So mindfulness is basically understanding who you are, what motivates you, what makes you act and think in a particular way. We know naman na we are not always perfect in our actions, in our words, in our thoughts, no? So we have to get to the bottom of this, no? And what drives our words, um, behavior, and thoughts is actually the program we have in our mind. So we have to, uh, like a computer analyst, may bug. Kailangan niyang suriin kung ano yung program at ano nagiging problema dun sa program. No? So mindfulness is basically that. No? However, I would like to add another element in mindfulness that it is not always cognitive. Okay,
Mm,
um, mindfulness is actually a twin of heartfulness. So when we talk about cultivation, mental health, we're not just talking about the mind up here. We're talking also about emotional health, emotional balance, no?
mm,
Emotional maturity. So when we purify the mind, it should also come hand in hand with purifying the heart. That is why
mm,
in our meditation practices, some people uh, think that it is just about talking about inspirational talks and then you get inspired. You must be brave enough to open your heart and deal with what is in there. Some may be painful, some may be, reopening of wounds. But uh, without this reopening, hindi sisingaw kasi yung sugat. Okay?
Mm.
If we keep repressing what is there, okay, um, we will we will be stuck with this source of our suffering for a very very long time.
So it's
Yeah,
I guess you're saying also, so mindfulness is also about heartfulness. So
yeah,
it's really the, sabi nga nila, it's heart and mind coherence, 'di ba? When your mind and your heart are coherent, parang your electromagnetic field is talagang stronger, 'di ba? Kasi pag hindi aligned, 'di ba? Hindi aligned yung mind and heart, parang that's, I guess that's where problems arise also.
more important the purification of the mind and the heart.
Yeah, purification of mind and heart.
Even the Buddha said that when he was asked about the greatest miracle, and then he was saying, "Oh, some people have this psychic powers to do this, to do that, to do this, to do that." But the greatest miracle, sabi niya, is the miracle of teaching and transforming a person who is suffering to a person to and bringing to a state where he's liberated from his suffering. That's the greatest
Liberated
miracle.
from his suffering.
Yeah.
Yes, tama. Oo. And what is the
So
cause of all suffering?
the cause of all suffering, in a nutshell, is because we crave for things that we crave for something and it doesn't come to us, or
Mm,
something comes to us and we don't like it, or
mm,
not being contented with what is
mm,
happening.
mm,
Again, looking for mystical, wonderful events when just the miracle of breathing, just being the miracle of being is
mm.
so unappreciated. No?
Yeah.
And that's what happens during just a sit. Some people say, "Wow, I'm alive." And when they say
Mm,
I'm alive, it's with the fullness of being present in the moment and full 101 appreciation of life.
mm,
Yun ang miracle. You see, somebody can have a Kundalini experience. Okay. Okay. I take a particular drug, for example, and I get the same uh, feeling. Of course, it's not the real, genuine yogic Kundalini, no? But a feeling of bliss or whatever. But that is temporary. And then
mm,
people look for this kind of drug, look for that kind of trip, this kind of experience. And when the experience goes, suffering comes in. Why? Because that happiness, that joy, or that excitement has passed away.
mm,
But the real happiness is devoid of these external sources. When you
mm,
become happy with yourself, just being
mm,
yourself, di ba?
mm,
Just appreciating who you are, just
mm,
knowing who you really are, and celebrating life in its simplicity, and at the same time, in its profundity. Yun ang, yun ang miracle. No?
and that you have access to that all the time.
Yes, but
Yes.
people, because of their misperceptions, because of their
Mm,
biases, because of their trauma, or because of their greed, wanting more and more and more, they cannot appreciate anymore these simple things in nature. Nature has already provided so many things for us, and yet
mm,
many people want more and more and more because
mm,
they are feeding on a particular desire that is based on external sources, not internal sources. So
mm,
basically, what we are trying to do when we are looking for happiness is finding the source within rather than
mm.
outside of us.
Yung book ni Eckhart Tolle, 'di ba, The Power of Now, and sinasabi niya na if you just look into the present moment, you have everything you need. And during the retreat that I attended nga then that 10-day retreat, one of the meditations was on that the present there's one guided meditation, and it's really about the perfection of the present moment. This present moment is enough, 'di ba? This present moment is all I need. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Parang ganyan. You don't even know if you're gonna live tomorrow. And then yung the past is actually the past is gone. The past is no longer real. It is does not exist anymore. It's only the only reality is now, 'di ba? Maybe your thoughts about how can you be content, or how can you feel that the present moment is perfect even when you have bills to pay, you have problematic marriage perhaps, or you have problems at the office, mga ganyan-ganyan. Yung parang how can you reconcile that?
Okay. Meditation will not put money in a person's bank. We know that. Meditation will not make the bills go away. Okay? We know that also. But these are things that we either have. It's related to things we either have or don't have. We either have money to pay the bills or don't have money to pay the bills. Meditation is about contentment, basically. And as you mentioned just now, meditation is about being present in the moment and knowing that the present is enough. Tama naman yun. Okay?
The
I would like
present
to
is
add, yeah, I'd like to add one more thing, which is not just the present is enough, but I am enough. You are enough. So we're talking about our being, not about what we are having. We may not have enough money to pay our bills, but not having enough money should not impact on how we regard ourselves. Okay? So when we sit in meditation, it's also appreciating the present moment and also appreciating our present self, and the feeling will come that if you go deep into meditation, that sitting here and now, at this present moment, I am enough.
mm,
I am enough.
mm,
Yun ang maganda doon. Once that, once you get that realization, you become more peaceful, you become more calm, and then when you go out and you have to face this problem about paying something, you will be able to deal with the problem more calmly. You can think more clearly. You can find a better solution than
mm,
finding a solution that is based on fear or panic or anxiety. Okay? You can do problem solving more calmly. Yeah.
mm.
So yun.
Yes. Galing. It's really, oo nga, wow, yun, that's the real miracle, 'di ba? If you stay in that pattern of anxiety, negativity, fear, then it's just a spiral of either staying that way, getting stuck, or going much worse, 'di ba? But when you become calm, peaceful, calm, and clear about how to respond, you actually also get to be more creative, 'di ba? You can, sabi mo nga, you find solutions and you'll be more creative, and I guess yun yung ano sinasabi nila na when you embody um yung that you are enough, then everything else just follows. Parang everything else that you need just comes to you. I guess it begins with that, 'di ba? It begins with already knowing that you have it. Okay ka na. You don't need anything more. It's when you don't need it that actually, but it's also part of letting go, 'di ba? When you don't need it, everything else just comes to you, 'di ba?
So yeah, when we
Mm.
have this feeling that, at this present moment, I'm enough, I'm enough, I'm enough. Papasok na lang, papasok na ibang bagay like better self-esteem, better
Mm.
self-confidence, creativity, as you said. Yeah, maganda
And
yung
life
answer.
just gets better and better, 'di ba? Life just gets better and better. It's just a natural consequence.
So when you talk about the nature, we remind ourselves that because we have this body, it's our nature to get sick. It's also our nature to die.
Mm.
So uh, we prepare. Our training is not just about getting healed, getting better. Our training is also about accepting that one day mabubulok yung
Mm.
katawan. Our bodies will
Mm.
decay, and one day we will
Mm.
die.
Mm.
So actually, we have actually done a little bit of death meditation dun sa Santa Maria,
Yeah.
and
Mm.
it helps people. reminds them that one day we will also die. So learning how to let go, it
Mm.
helps in that process of learning how to let go. When you have this idea that really is not just a theoretical acceptance, but a real deep realization. Oh, ano, magkakasakit
Mm.
ako. Bilang araw mamamatay din ako. One day I will die.
Mm.
And that is also very empowering for some people when they have
Yeah.
that realization.
So a lot of us live as though we're gonna ano, 'di ba, live forever. So it's
Oh, yeah, yeah.
so powerful to meditate on death, no? Yung to confront your mortality and realize that you probably only have little time to live your purpose on earth, 'di ba? So,
Yeah.
ayan, don't die with the song still inside you. Parang ganun yung quote, 'di ba? Parang sayang naman.
Live
And
life
kung
well.
di ka pa naniniwala sa reincarnation, ito na yun. This is it, 'di ba? You don't have any second time to come back or third time to come back.
Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah.
Live life.
Okay. Tips to live joyfully in the present, and how to yeah, I guess yan, just some simple tips to be joyful in the present.
Okay. Uh, Many of the teachings of Buddha are actually very doable and they sound so simple. Parang, kahit bata, naiintindihan yan, yes, but it is about experience. So, don't just learn how to forgive, really forgive. Okay? Don't just talk about being humble. If you need to ask for forgiveness. Learn to love or at least not hate everybody so that our society will be more harmonious, more peaceful, and learn to appreciate yourself. And
Mm.
the irony here is when you learn to appreciate yourself in the Buddhist way, the way to do that is also letting go of yourself, letting go of your ego, not even thinking about yourself. So, yun nga,
Mm.
how to appreciate yourself without attaching or clinging to yourself or your ego.
Mm.
So, if you can do that simple things, be more forgiving, be more kind, be less self-centered, people will be
Mm.
happy, basically.
Mm. When you
Yeah.
say appreciate yourself without attaching to yourself, ano ba yun? Parang, just being yourself, tama ba yun? Just being yourself, oo, without,
That's- yeah.
being na you don't need titles, you don't need all these accomplishments, you're enough, tama ba? Yun ba yung ano na?
Well, if it comes, it comes. If people say, oh, ang galing-galing mo, wag mo nang sabihin na, hindi, bobo ako. I mean, appreciate it. No? Accept it, but don't cling to it. As
Don't
if,
cling to it. Mm.
yeah, don't cling to it. And just say, thank you,
Mm.
I appreciate your words. Matalino ako.
Mm.
That's it. But say it matter of factly, not with pride. Not
Mm.
not with the idea na, uy, matalino ako. Marami mas bobo sa akin. Ay, iba na yun. Pride na
Mm.
yun. Okay? So,
Mm.
it's about letting go of the ego. You can appreciate yourself without looking down on other people or being
Mm.
jealous of other people. That's what
Okay.
not being self-centered means.
Okay. Nice. Very nice. Okay. We're going na to our last because you're talking about mindfulness, and when you're mindful, you're very centered, you're very grounded, 'di ba? Um I would like to ask you what your favorite grounding quote is. Ako, I have many quotes, pero recently, ito yung bago ko. Because I usually when I do my coaching sessions, I start with a grounding quote for my coachees. So, parang for them to reflect on. So, mine was, ito yung kay Rabindranath Tagore. I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted and behold, service was joy. Sabi mo nga, we all just want to be happy at the end of the day. But usually we think that we'll be happy when we're served so many things, 'di ba? When yung lahat ng gusto natin na nakukuha natin, but actually that is a fleeting kind of happiness. The real happiness is when we forget ourselves and give ourselves to others in service, and of course living our purpose. So yun yan, parang living our purpose and doing that as a way to serve others. So that is my grounding quote. I would like to ask, I'm sure you have many also. What is your grounding quote?
Medyo marami. But before I say that, gusto ko lang
Okay.
sabihin na yung quote mo complemented what I was saying about not being self-centered. So instead of centering on the self, yun nga, tama. Service to other people. No? So, I wouldn't say it's a favorite quote. It's just one of my quotes. Okay? Babasahin ko na lang.
Yeah.
Ito is coming from one of our scriptures, and this is a saying of one of the monks, no? About real peace. Sabi niya, real peace appears within when the mind is free from defilements. External objects do not provide peace.
Mm.
So, yun lang.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, talagang real peace is the peace that comes from within. Oo. So, yes, very nice. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, we have come to the end of our podcast. This is an opportunity. We've been talking about the meditation retreats, and there's an opportunity. There's 3 days, there's 10 days, and Simon is one of the retreat facilitators. I've been fortunate to be able to attend one, and it was transformative for me. And I do plan to attend again, maybe for the year end. So, how can people find you, reach you? Maybe you can share your social media pages or the retreat page as well, where people can find out more.
Yeah, we have a Facebook. You have a Facebook account. Please look for Forest Yogi Meditation
Mhm.
Center. So
Okay.
FYMC. And the address is Santa Maria, Laguna.
Please do follow the page of Forest Yogi Meditation Center. It's in Santa Maria, Laguna. It's right in the middle of the Sierra Madre Mountains. So beautiful place, very peaceful, perfect for communing with nature and really being in a place that's peaceful. And there's no signal. So yung sinasabi ni Mon na ano na digital detox, oo, forced kasi walang signal. Hindi talaga kayo makaka-connect, yes. There's only certain spots in the center
Yeah,
where
yeah.
there's signal, and and only for only when you necessarily need to send messages. Okay, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, and I hope that people who will watch this will be inspired and will learn a lot. Um, so very very grateful for your time. Anything else you'd like to say before we go?
Well, may everybody be well, safe, and be finally liberated from all forms of mental and physical suffering.
Yes, what a beautiful intention. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Dino. Lisa.